A new Gallup poll shows stress, sadness, and worry have increased in the workplace recently. The company Fierce Inc. is addressing that with a new app called Pulse. It's designed to lessen the pressure, especially in the business climate. And Ed Beltran joins us now from Fierce to explain this app. Ed, I'm so glad you're here to talk about this. It sounds like we really need it.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you for allowing me on your show. I'm so happy to be here and tell you more about Pulse.
Yeah, so tell us about this. How does it work? First of all, it is up and running now, right? We can get Pulse.
Yes, absolutely. We've been running it with our enterprise clients, but if I could give you a little bit of a background on it. Fierce, we've been in business for over 20 years, providing training to Fortune 500 companies or emerging startups with conversations that get results. So, Paula, I'm sure you've had the situation where you walk away and you're like, what did I just hear? What did this person just say? Or worse, you're angered, like some type of feeling that came out of that. So this happens every day in all the millions of interactions people have. And they have a few choices on how to handle that. One is, like I said, we walk away, we harbor those feelings, which manifest in stress. 2, we go tell 3 other people, that just amplifies toxicity. Or 3, we engage in the conversation and ask for clarity, ask to provide feedback, or ask for additional information. So what we found in our research is that reduces stress and it drives the results that individuals and companies desire. So what happens is that connected strategy, which I had the opportunity to study out of Wharton, is all about how do you predict when people need you, when they're in those moments, those high stress moments. You just walked away and someone said something offensive or something that made you pause and wonder what was happening. So what we decided to do was backward integrate into wearable devices. So wearable devices are popular, they're all around now, and they're capturing your heart rate data in real time. And from that data, we can not only identify the stress events that you're going through, but we also layer on additional information to help you understand what's happening. So, Paula, if I said to you 2 days ago, that was the highest stress event you had at 2 o'clock, you're like, I don't know where I was at 2 o'clock. So we're drawing in Outlook data or Google Calendar data, as well as GPS, to be able to say, here's what was happening when you had that high stress event. You were with this particular peer or your significant other, or you were in this meeting, to bring forward self-awareness for you to first say, okay, this is what's stressing me out.
Okay, so Ed, let's break this down. As you talked about a wearable device. So those of us who have Apple Watches or some kind of watch that clocks those things about our bodies. But if you don't have that, how are you going to use the Pulse app?
The Pulse app you could use without the wearable data, or you can get an entry-level device that you can see on Amazon for like $30. But if you don't want to use the wearable, our AI guide will still help you do self-exploration to understand what is happening, what is showing up for you. The AI bot is very intelligent. It's going to ask you questions, what's showing up for you, what you're struggling with, and then move you into action. And that's really the key of Pulse, and what we're so proud about, Paula, is it's all about what next in stress. It's one thing to say you're stressed and this is what's going on, and to cope with stress like all of us are used to doing by better sleep, better diet, meditation. But it's another thing to say, what is stressing you out, and let's tackle it. And what we found in our research, 90% of the time, they're just misunderstandings. And unfortunately, with this binary approach is driving in our workplace right now, is people feel like their only option is to quit. Like, oh, the culture's horrible here. Oh, my boss doesn't like me and I need to quit. I need to go find another job. Versus, let me engage this. Let me ask what's happening. What did you mean by this in our performance review? Or you made this comment that was offensive to me. Can we talk about it? In which case you just learn a lot, right? Like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. I didn't mean that. And you enrich your relationship and increase collaboration. And, you stay with the company and drive the career that you desired.
Wow. Well, Ed, I think you just spoke to things that we all feel in our lives, whether you're in the workplace or not. But you're specifically driving this or focusing this on the business world. So is this the kind of thing that you're going to try to market for whole companies at once to help their employees? Or what's your main focus on this?
Yes, thank you for that question and for clarifying it. So we've been in the B2B business-to-business segment for the last 20 years. However, Pulse was meant to be available to everybody. So you don't have to go through training, days or hours on training. You could literally use it tomorrow and become self-aware on what it is that's stressing you out and then move into action. So all of us have these days bleed overs in between our personal and our business life. And in one story I would like to share with you, one of our users, his data clearly showed he was higher stress at home. It would say like traveling with family, watching the kids, date night with wife, versus his work life. And so on the surface, he would have said, my home life is stressing me out. My wife and I don't have the greatest relationship. But upon further exploration, what was happening to him is what's happened to a lot of us right now post-pandemic, which is we have a bleed over between work and home life. And so what he realized quickly, what our tool, our AI bot, allowed him to do was say, I need to have a conversation with both my boss and my wife in order to establish boundaries and barriers and capacity. His stress dropped within a week by 12%. It was absolutely amazing.
FierceInc.com. We're putting up the info and so our viewers can see how to learn more. And this could be something, this could truly change your life. So, and it was great talking with you today, and congratulations on this innovation. It's really something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Bye
Thank
now.
you.
Take care.
All right.